interval of 144 years. This is his problem, viewers. One of his cousins, Shivpal Yadav, was an MLA. He's come out and said government's money has been misused for PR. Such a government should resign. There is no mention of 144 years anywhere in the scriptures, unquote. Viewers, then there is Lalu Yadav. He says, Kumbh ka kahan koi matlab hai? Faltu hai Kumbh. Is there any meaning to Kumbh? It is just meaningless. This is Lalu Yadav, RJD Supremo. These remarks are unfair, to put it mildly. First, none of these self-styled secularists would ever dream of saying anything even remotely critical of the customs of other religions, the practices of other religions, the rituals of other religions, the books of other religions, the traditions of other religions. Viewers, they would not open their mouth. Second, the Maha Kumbh is no Hajj. Let's be very honest about it. The Hajj is open exclusively to Muslims. Unlike the guardians of the Kaaba in Mecca, no authority stands at the gateways to the Sangam Ghats demanding proof of a visitor's Hinduness. The lady in the middle of your screens is Katrina Kaif. Has she been stopped, viewers? Hundreds of Christians from the West have come, actors, celebrities, all sorts of people. Again, unlike the Hajj, it is not obligatory for Hindus to attend the Kumbh. Moreover, Prayagraj is not Mecca, where as per religious injunction, no non-Muslim can enter. Neither does the Mela claim to be the season in the way religious observances are structured in the Christian West. For a whole month there, viewers, people go on holiday almost. In fact, the presence of so many Hindu sects alongside Christians, Sikhs, and even by some accounts curious Muslims is a testament to the fact that Hinduism is still the preeminent, all-welcoming, big tent faith founded on the credo Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one. Hinduism has never had and still does not have a Vatican, nor does it center around a single pivotal deity. This inherent pluralism means that the same people who enthusiastically embrace the Kumbh will also head off in different directions, seeking blessings, purification, enlightenment, atonement, nirvana or moksha elsewhere. Indeed, even as the Kumbh, this Maha Kumbh, witnessed record-breaking footfalls, thousands of Hindus were simultaneously offering oblations to a Kul Devta in Shirdi, Tirupati and Ayodhya. Just check the numbers, go to their websites, you will see. Attendance didn't fall. Naturally, Prime Minister Modi and UP Chief Minister Yogi have both lashed out at the wholly unnecessary criticism. Listen in, viewers.
ये जो जंगल राज वाले हैं, इनको हमारी धरोहर से, हमारी आस्था से नफरत है। इस समय प्रयागराज में एकता का महाकुंभ चल रहा है। बिहार से भी गांव-गांव से श्रद्धालु एकता के इस महाकुंभ होकर आ रहे हैं। लेकिन ये जंगल राज वाले महाकुंभ को ही गाली दे रहे हैं। महाकुंभ को लेकर भद्दी बातें कर रहे हैं। राम मंदिर से चिढ़ने वाले लोग महाकुंभ को भी कोसने का कोई मौका नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं। मैं जानता हूं, महाकुंभ को गाली देने वाले ऐसे लोगों को बिहार कभी भी माफ नहीं करेगा।
किसी जाति को रोका नहीं गया था। हम लोगों ने तो कहा था जो सद्भावना से जाएगा वो सम्मान से कुंभ में जाए, लेकिन जो सद्भावना से नहीं दुर्भावना से जाएगा तो उसकी दुर्गति भी होगी जरूर, अगर उसने कुंभ में अव्यवस्था पैदा करने का प्रयास किया। हमने आपकी तरह आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ नहीं किया, समाजवादी पार्टी की तरह आस्था के साथ खिलवाड़ नहीं किया। आपके समय में मुख्यमंत्री को फुर्सत नहीं थी कि उस आयोजन को देख सकें। नॉन सनातनी को कुंभ का प्रभारी बनाया था, लेकिन यहां पर मैं स्वयं इसकी समीक्षा कर रहा था, लगातार कर रहा था और लगातार कर रहा था। किसी ने सच कहा कि महाकुंभ में जिसने जो तलाशा उसको वह मिला। गिद्धों को केवल घास मिली, सूअरों को गंदगी मिली, आस्थावानों को पुण्य मिला, सज्जनों को सज्जनता मिली। सनातन की सुंदरता आखिर समाजवादी और वामपंथियों को कैसे नजर आएगी? लेकिन इनके द्वारा लगातार किए जाने वाले प्रश्न इनकी नियत को ही संदेह के दायरे में खड़ी करती है।
The Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh's counter-attack might resonate with the hordes who've taken a dip. Simple math tells us that 1 out of 2 Hindus may have visited the Maha Kumbh. Let me break it down for you. In the past 42 days, 1 out of every 2 Hindus in India would have taken a dip at the Maha Kumbh. How do we know this? Over 60 crore have taken a dip in the Kumbh. 63 to be exact, according to the UP government. A majority of those over 60 crore pilgrims would be Hindus. There are 110 crore Hindus in India as per latest predictive data as of 2023. Viewers, do the math and it gives you that number. Frankly, at a time when competitive identity politics is all the rage, Hinduism could well benefit from its adherents exhibiting a greater sense of ownership. Hinduism is competing in a marketplace dominated by well-organized, proselytizing religions eager to claim a lion's share of the follower base. With no central organizing credo and no rigid core tenets, Hinduism's inherent tolerance makes it ill-equipped to counter legions of missionaries flush with funds and backed by the promised safety net inherent to Semitic or Abrahamic faiths. Thus, viewers, if Maha Kumbh is succeeded in evoking a sense of oneness, it may not be a bad thing. It gives Hinduism and its inherent pluralism a fighting chance to remain in the race, survive, viewers. And I want to open this up and I want to ask some basic questions tonight. And let's, without delay, viewers, go straight across. And I want to bring in straight into the picture Dr. Sumansi Raman tonight. Dr. Raman, I want to ask you, are all these attacks, these gratuitous attacks, people saying ye to faltu hai Maha Kumbh, why are even people showing up there, dead bodies floating around all over the waters, that this 144-year conception is plucked out of thin air? It might be, but people have a right to believe. You would agree. No one knows where Jesus was born exactly, why we celebrate Christmas on the 25th. Obviously, no one is going to say, bhai, kya karte ho 25 tarikh ko? Why do you do all of this? No one ever asked those questions, but only for Hindus, 144 years, why are you making such a big deal of the Maha Kumbh? It doesn't exist, it exists, whatever, you've heard it, blah, blah, blah. Now, does this record turnout at the Kumbh rattle the India bloc and its sympathizers because it threatens their divisive, caste-based or identity-based political model? As Yogi says, shops will close down. If Hindus unite, as you know, he gave a slogan. The Prime Minister finessed the slogan. You know that. So I'm asking you, is this what is making everyone so nervous? And would you also, second part of my question, sir, Dr. Raman, by showing up in such record numbers, have the pilgrims themselves answered all these sort of naysayers, doubters, critics, call them what you want to, constructive critics also, have they answered them? Ki bhaiya theek hai, you think it's useless, we don't, we want to be here for whatever reason, our faith, the love of God, the love of moksha, nirvana, what have you. Doctor.
Rahul, I think this entire debate is based on a wrong premise.
Okay.
Nobody that I have seen has said that this is a waste or any such thing like that. The only thing they have said is arrangements could have been made to prevent a stampede, the water could have been cleaner and so on. Please point out anybody who has said that this is a waste or this need not have been held or whatever. I have not come across a single comment like that. I don't know from where you are picking up all of this stuff. I have not come across. Let's be very clear. During the introduction to this program and subsequently in whatever you said, you made 8 references to Muslims, Mecca, various issues related to Islam, and then you made 2 references to Christianity. Look, Hinduism is not not a competitive religion. It believes very strongly that there are many paths to attaining nirvana or salvation. I don't know where you get this, that we have to compare with religion B, religion C, and constantly try to create this, my religion is better than your religion kind of a debate. Look, there are people from all faiths who have visited the Kumbh. As you yourself said,
yes,
nobody has stopped them. That is the greatness of Hinduism.
Yes.
I don't know why you are doing your bit to try to change that. Why should that be changed?
Can I now respond, sir? You raised 2 points.
No. I raised one very important point. And that point was nobody that I have heard of has ever decried the Kumbh.
Okay.
All that they have said.
No, 1 second. Let him. Let him say. Okay, now can I come in, sir?
Some eccentric chap somewhere may have said something.
Chap.
But who has said it? Look, is there 1 minute? There are crazies in every political party, in every religion.
Okay.
We all accept that.
Okay.
Now you don't give them. Who has said? No, please tell me who has said.
Can I, Doctor? Can I enlighten you a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
So कुंभ का कहाँ कोई मतलब है? फालतू है कुंभ. This is Lalu Prasad Yadav. According to you, he's a crazy person.
No, 1 minute.
No, what do you mean 1 minute?
Please quote the entire stuff of what he said.
I have quoted, sir.
One sentence.
I have quoted. He doesn't speak more than a sentence anymore. With due respect to him.
You have seen Rabri Devi on the chart.
Then let me also elaborate.
They are not doing
Dr. Raman,
Hinduism.
No, okay, fine. Now, Dr. Raman, you said which
visuals
person of any consequence,
Lalu?
if you don't think Lalu Prasad Yadav, who is the RJD Supremo challenging Nitish Kumar and Prime Minister Modi in Bihar is a useless person, that's your opinion. I am only bringing out a fact. Secondly, please let me finish.
You are not bringing out a fact.
Okay,
you are selectively quoting a statement. That's all.
I'm not selectively. Please Google yourself, sir. I promise you. Go Google yourself, yes. Please. You'll see the entire soundbite as it appears on national media. Number 2.
Play it out.
Okay, sir. I'll play it out. I'll bring it out. I didn't think I would need to do this because it was so apparent. Anyhow, let's try to bring out that statement if you can. Pull it out of the archives. Anyhow, secondly, look at this. Savita Jha, Professor DU, writing the op-ed pages of the Indian Express. She says, and that's why, viewers, I was drawing a distinction between the Hindu tradition, Islam and Christianity. What does she say in an article which has upset a lot of people, let me tell you. She says, quote, rush at Maha Kumbh shows how Hinduism is losing its pluralistic character. Hinduism is moving towards a more codified, performative and mandatory form. And she goes on to compare it to, quote, Abrahamic traditions, unquote. Not my words, her words, viewers. This is a DU professor. Her articles have been embellished and put out everywhere. Only those people who are living in, I don't know, some silo have not heard of her or of Lalu Yadav or of what Shivpal Yadav ji has said. Government money has been misused for PR, such a government should resign. Why? There is no mention of 144 years anywhere in the scripture. So he is basically saying that the government sold this Maha Kumbh as saying this will not come for another 144 years. So please be there. Now they are saying, where did this theory of 144 years come from? It has never existed in any of our scriptures. That is what made me make those comparisons. I am not trying to, sir, bring in different religions. They are bringing in the different religions. I am not. Anyhow, Sanju Verma, could you please respond? Doctor, okay, sir. Now, what am I supposed to do, sir?
You brought in Islam or Christianity here.
I did because this lady said that we have become like them. Please read the article, sir. I am not making this up.
That is what I also.
So it is my rebuttal to her. So it is my rebuttal to her. So I am pointing out that, sorry, the Maha Kumbh is no Hajj, where people's certificates are got to be seen from which denomination you come. If you are not Muslim, don't come. I am saying that we are the big tent. We are the only faith that is inclusive. So it is wrong to say that because people have shown up at the Kumbh, they have become fundamentalists. Sir, please thoda pad lo na wo article. Please read it, sir. Give me 30 seconds. Just Google it. I'll give you the name. Savita Jha, Professor DU. Just read it. Indian Express. It came about 3 or 4 days back. I've even written a piece contradicting it. Anyhow, fundamentally, viewers, I'm not cooking up any facts. These facts exist. We'll try to bring out the soundbite also. But BJP national spokesperson, please respond to Dr. Aman.
Thank you. And Rahul, let me, for the benefit of your audience, say that the full name of this professor is Savita Jha Khan, for whatever it is worth. Now, let me come straight to the point. You know, I always say there is no harm in talking statistics. There is no harm in demanding accountability. A government in power needs to be accountable. No second questions about that. I have said that on umpteen occasions on your debates. Be it the New Delhi railway station stampede or the fire in Maha Kumbh wherein 18 people lost their lives, governments need to be accountable. But if you're willing to hold a gun to the government's head and throw brickbats at them, you also need to shower bouquets at the government, because don't forget, if 63 crore people have done Amrit Snan at the Maha Kumbh and partaken of the Kumbh festivities, you are actually saying that more than 2 times the population of the United States of America, more than 10 times the population of Italy, more than 9 times the population of the United Kingdom, and more than 8 times the population of Germany has actually participated in the Kumbh, which is one of the world's largest, not only spiritual gatherings, but gatherings of humanity anywhere for the last so many centuries. तो पहली बात तो ये, मोदी सरकार और योगी सरकार से accountability demand करिए, but congratulate them for hosting such a mega event. Point number 3, and most importantly, I do not want to, derail this debate, but sometimes statistics need to be given out to call the bluff of some people on the panel. You are talking about so many people died in Maha Kumbh, so many people, were put through trouble, the arrangements were shoddy, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, the average number of people who visit Mecca is only between 11 to 15 million, which means barely 11 to 15 million.
Yes.
Can I please finish, Rahul?
Doctor, she didn't interfere. You can rebut her. Let her finish, please.
Yeah. Mr. Raman, if you think it's a competition, so be it. I'm not accountable to you. Point number 3, the more important point. Arey, shant ho jaiye.
Let her finish, sir.
Can you ask this man to
Let
not
her
give me
finish.
background music?
She didn't interrupt you. She didn't interrupt me. Let her have her time. You can please rebut. No
Yes.
problem, sir.
Thank you.
No one is running
Thank you,
away.
Mr. Raman. I know it's difficult for you to be gracious, but please try. Let me just say this, Rahul. Let me come very quickly without being verbose. You've given out this data, but I will not get tired of repeating it. There was the Hajj gathering at Mecca in 1990 at Mina, and 1,426 people lost their lives. In 2006, at the Hajj gathering at Mina, Mecca, there were 346 people who lost their lives.
Sure.
In 2015, 2,400 people lost their lives at the Mina gathering for Hajj. And in 2024, thanks to just sweltering heat, 1,310 people lost their lives for the Hajj gathering at Mecca.
Yes.
When people died due to sweltering heat at Mina and Mecca, I don't see Akhilesh Yadav, condemning the Hajj gathering there.
So it's a valid point. Let me ask. Faizan Kidwai sahab. Okay, and I want to bring in. Okay, I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan also. Faizan Kidwai, very quick response. Look, you know the statistics. Yes, please quote and bring out the statistics of the people who died in the stampede. By all means, ask all those questions at the Maha Kumbh. No one is stopping you, sir. But I want to ask you, why wouldn't you then caution? First of all, you do know that Indians went to the Hajj in 2024 and some died of the sunstroke. I hope you know this. If you knew this, did Akhilesh Yadav or any of his party members or anybody else write a letter to the Saudi government saying that, bhai, give air conditioning, make good preparations, do not do this, that the entire Hajj has been polluted, has been stained and blotted, has been made unpious because of the blood of innocents? Did anyone say this, sir? Please tell me.
I'll answer your question. And Rahul, you have to give me some time, please uninterrupted.
Please.
See, sir, first of all, if my neighbor is partying, I don't dress up and go around dancing, because that's none of my business. If something is happening in somebody else's place, why should we bother? Yes, at the same time, if those people who have done something wrong, like if there has been a mishappening and people are trying to hide it. It's our responsibility, especially because it is happening in our own country. And you said to Mr. Raman sometime back, Google kar lijiye, dekh lijiye. Sir, I would request you to Google and find a website, adityanath.in. Just see the kind of misogynist comments Mr. Adityanath has made about women, that if men acquire the qualities of women, they become divine. And if vice versa happens, they become rakshas. He means women will become rakshas if they become brave. So this is the ideology of Mr. Adityanath. First, see, BJP has been calling itself a double engine ki sarkar, but the people of Uttar Pradesh have renamed it. Now people call it a double blunder ki sarkar. It has brought disgrace to the way governments should function, and the lives of people of Uttar Pradesh has become has been thrown into darkness, all because of the corruption and mismanagement of Mr. Adityanath. It's not just us. A BJP MLA, his name is Nana Kishore Gujar. He says this stampede is not an accident; it is a murder. Okay. So it's not only us; it's the BJP people also saying the mismanagement.
The point
happened.
being,
sir, at the same time, may I just, Rahul, you gave a lot of time to the BJP spokesperson. You gave a lot of time to Anand Bhai. So kindly give me some time.
बोला ही नहीं, Dr. Raman.
अभी बोलेंगे सर तो आप रोकेंगे नहीं. अभी बोलेंगे तो आप रोकेंगे नहीं. तो
It's like the $21 million that never came.
Exactly.
Anyhow,
Exactly. So and I would like to draw your attention to the CAG report of 2019 Kumbh. It says there has been widespread corruption. 32 tractors were bought, sir, in the name, and the numbers which were registered were corresponding to motorcycles, to cars. So doesn't this show that there was widespread corruption? The urban development sanctioned 2,743 crores to the Mela Adhikari, out of which 630 crores where it was spent, nobody knows. Okay. Nobody knows where the other funds which came from other departments. I just want to say that Mr. Adityanath is and his government, they are trying to fool the people. There's
okay, they're trying to fool the people.
Levels are
okay, one second.
If Samajwadi Party doesn't question the Bharatiya Janata Party, who will?
The media. Quick response, BJP.
Is not
BJP national spokesperson. Quick response, Ms. Verma. Yes, and then Dr. Ranganathan. Yes, quick response, ma'am.
My quick response, and I hope now Faizan Kidwai won't interrupt me. Let me just say one thing. The people are the best barometer of how a government is performing, and recently in a reserved constituency called Milkipur with more than 30% Dalit population, the BJP won. 3 months back there were bypolls. Out of 9 seats, BJP won 7 with a 78% strike rate. The Samajwadi Party won just 2 seats with a pathetic 22% strike rate. Okay. You have been routed after the
okay, so people have spoken, says Sanju Verma. People have spoken and they've silenced you. A record number of people have gone to the Kumbh. They have ignored your portentous messaging. They have said that no, we trust Yogi Adityanath to take us there and bring us back. Yes, there has been strife, there have been problems. But viewers, 63 crores is not a small number, as I've told you. Dr. Ranganathan, how do you respond to some of the comments you have heard tonight?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists, especially to my big brother Faizan Bhai. With his permission, can I speak? Because he seems to think that I've already spoken my time.
I didn't say that. I said you'll get a lot of time, Bhai.
Okay, go ahead.
We'll get a lot of time. All right. No, but Rahul, this is why I gently castigate you and please plead with you कि मुझे सबसे पहले बुलवा के खत्म करवा लिया करो, because by the time my turn comes, there are so many lies and hypocrisies to expose that like a junkie I'm twitching and trembling, So what do? Do I expose those hypocrisies that will eat into my time, or do I say what I have to say? So please at least give me 30 seconds extra to expose the hypocrisy and the lies of Dr. Raman and Faizan Bhai. Number one, I suppose Dr. Raman thinks a 2-time Congress MP who is in charge of 3 high-powered Congress committees is a loony fringe to have said that the state has no business, secular state has no business to be wasting money on Maha Kumbh and Kumbh. I suppose that, so let's give that to him. He doesn't think anything of Udit Raj. Now let me come to Faizan Bhai. When you asked him about Hajj, his trademark response was, we are concerned about our government. We are not concerned about what other people do to our. Strangely, why is he concerned about the US government treating Indian illegal immigrants the way they were? तब क्या हो गया? So look at
sir, वो हिंदुस्तानी है. What are you
saying? वो भी तो हैं जो हज गए हैं साहब. The people who went to Hajj are also Hindustani, or you, when they cross into Mecca, they don't become Hindustani?
Are those people trying to hide
Okay,
something?
okay.
What are you saying?
Kidwai Sahab, you said that why do we care about what the other government is doing, but when Indians land on their soil, you should be doubly concerned.
Yes, of course we are concerned.
So how then? Why didn't you raise the issue of the heat strokes
Are
and
those
Hajj?
people trying to hide?
Why did you not? Why did you not?
That
Please,
no, not so many
please,
people
one
died.
second. Yes, Dr.
What are you
Ranganathan.
saying?
Dr. Ranganathan, carry on. I think
Shazam
we've
bhai,
proven the point. Yes.
Please don't be rattled. आपको हमारे सेवैया की कसम. The fact of the matter is that 1,301 people died in Hajj because of the bad arrangements and criminal culpability of the government there. 98 of them were Indian Muslims. चलिए हिंदूज का कुछ नहीं, आप मुस्लिम ब्रदर्स की मौत हुई है. आपने चू नहीं बोला, क्यों? क्योंकि आप कह रहे हैं हम योगी आदित्यनाथ ने जो के उसके अंडर जो हुआ है उसको क्रिटिसाइज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन 98 मुसलमान जो मरे हमारे हिंदुस्तानी भाई, उनके बारे में कुछ नहीं कहेंगे. Look at the hypocrisy.
Okay.
Sir, hypocrisy.
यही तो argument
The larger point.
Tactics है आप.
Let me open this up. Yes.
ओ मेरा टाइम ही चला गया क्या?
नहीं चलिए आप खत्म कीजिए. Yes, doctor. Yeah, 1 second, doctor. Yeah.
This is why I said, look, coming back to the topic, which was a very lovely sacrosanct topic, which we could have debated very nicely. Look, the fact of the matter is we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You said it. And Kumbh is where the Kutumb is taking a bath. This is what irks these leftists and darbaris and congressy कि ये सारे लोग unite कैसे हो गए? ये तो division में लगे रहते हैं. People of all religions, sects, caste, creed, color. Isn't that glorious? Look, there are two issues here very briefly. I don't have time to go into the second one, at least the first one I do. Look, first of all, let me congratulate Yogi Adityanath and everyone involved in the organization of Maha Kumbh. Rahul, by all accounts, it is spectacular. 630 million Indians have taken the holy dip at Prayagraj, twice the population of USA, and still some of these people are abusing Maha Kumbh, calling it Mrityu Kumbh and worse. Outraging. Why is a secular state spending so much on a Hindu festival? Do they even...
Faizan bhai, no one disturbed you, please. I'll have to lower your fader. This is not fair. Let him finish, please. Let him finish, sir. Please. Let him finish. This is not fair. Please. Yeah. Go ahead.
We are good friends. I never interrupt you. Please don't do that. Wait for a minute and then you can rebut me. As I was saying, do these guys who are accusing a secular state of spending, do they realize the enormity of the illogic? Let me explain in under a minute. Twice the entire population of USA visiting a tiny river bank in the space of a month. Can even one USA run without means to manage it? UP government is spending 7,000 crores on the event, on police, security, crowd control, law and order, habitation, infrastructure for the pilgrims. In return, Rahul, Kumbh has already generated 3 lakh crores revenue, created 12 lakh jobs, irrespective of the fact that government spend money and resources on all religious and community festivals and gatherings, including the yearly Tablighi Ijtima gatherings attending by tens of millions of Muslims. The money spent by the state on Kumbh is a pittance compared to the billions it leeches off through the control of 110,000 Hindu temples. Return this money before you outrage on the government spending money on providing security in front of Hindu state. Return it.
Return it. Okay, one second. Ashutosh Mishra, let's get him in and then you can rebut Sanju Verma. Yes. Ashutosh Mishra, does the record turnout at the Kumbh rattle the India bloc because its politics is based on divisive appeals to identity, to caste, and they cannot stomach the fact that so many Hindus are coming together? They are worried. And in Milkipur, you saw the result. In Ayodhya, in the heart of Ayodhya, the seat went away from the Samajwadi Party. Their only one basic bragging right has also gone. Mishra.
No, first of all, Rahul, BJP might again be disappointed, just like it was disappointed in the Lok Sabha elections, when despite the Ram temple, it got only 240 seats.
Okay.
Hindus did not going to be a religious place does not mean they are voting for BJP, number one. Number two, the main problem here is that there is a word that the BJP spokesperson used, mega event. And the tragedy here is that this is the mega event being held in the reign of a person whom Advani ji called the great event manager, Narendra Modi. It's the biggest thing in his life. And it has been, since we talk about numbers here, in fact, whether it be the CPCB or the NGT talking about the bathing water, whether it be the people of Prayagraj urging pilgrims not to come to Prayagraj because they had enough. There is of the bad arrangement. It has come a cropper. I mean, whatever PRU the government does, the people on the ground have been affected. When Yogi Adityanath,
so you're saying this entire Kumbh is a failure?
Amir getting dhanda is all fine.
Okay.
Their crony capitalists may have got the money, but
Okay.
what about the poor people? Who
Okay, what about the poor people is a...
Just one more thing I want to add.
Yes.
Rahul, just one more
Yes,
thing I
yes,
want
yes,
to add.
yes.
I'm reminded of the first Kumbh. Okay, there was a stampede in the first Kumbh when Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister. There was a double engine ki Congress Sarkar. And what did Acharya Kripalani say in the parliament? He criticized the government. He said, you have turned this into, you have advertised it, you have invited people without letting them know the dangers they might face.
Okay.
And here what has happened, the BJP spokesperson was talking about Amrit Snan.
Okay, so you're saying, let her respond. Okay, let her respond. Let her respond. Amrit Stan, you've renamed it, packaged it. You're a seller of dreams. Without providing any support. Go ahead, respond quick, and then we need to move on.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, very quickly, I just want to tell Ashutosh Mishra, you're sitting here and jeering and sneering at the BJP saying, oh, people did not buy their so-called dreams and stories. That is why they were reduced to 240. I've never seen Ashutosh Mishra acknowledge the fact that the Congress was routed in Haryana, and for the first time in post-independent history, a party in power came back to power in Haryana for the third time running. I did not. Rahul, this is not fair.
Congress was saying
Mishra ji, let her finish. You can respond. Let her finish. Let her finish. Let's be civilized. Come on. Come on. Okay, but Mr. Mishra, let her be. Let her be. Let her be. Let her finish, please. Only lady on the panel in any case. Yes. Yeah.
Have you noticed one thing? I have not heckled any speaker, but they're so rattled the moment I start speaking the truth.
Yes.
इनके पेट में दर्द होने लगता है.
Okay.
शांत हो जाइए,
Your point,
Mr.
please.
Mishra.
Point.
Rahul.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me complete. The first point I'm making is Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the only Prime Minister, only incumbent leader for the first time in 62 years since 1962 to become the Prime Minister for the third time in a row. If you can't digest the hard truth, too bad for you. The second point, Maharashtra, can you imagine? No single opposition party even managed to get 28 seats to become the leader of the opposition.
Okay.
And after 27 years...
Okay, I'm stepping in. I'm stepping in. I understand. No, one second. Please lower everyone's faders. I'm stepping in. At this rate, I'll have to implement the rule of the jungle here. Lower everyone's faders. I'm not wanting to do that. But yes, now just viewers, look. The fact is, no one has a problem with people commenting on the arrangements or the lack of them at the Kumbh. Please go ahead. But don't say things like Lalu has said. Don't say things like some great intellectuals are saying, that just because a lot of Hindus have decided to show up for the Maha Kumbh means that we have become fundamentalists. For God's sakes, let's have a little sense of proportion and perhaps a little sense of decency. And if you want to be indecent, then be equally indecent and disregarding. Say this about everybody with equanimity. Say this about the people who go on Hajj, the organizers of the Hajj, about Christians, about everybody. Then we are fine. But don't single out people on the basis of their faith just because you know that those people are tolerant enough not to turn around and chant a couple of slogans and cause you harm. Think about that. Enough is enough. Let's move on, viewers, because there's a lot to talk about. There's another very big story. And let's talk common sense today. Forget about the intricacies. Keep it broad. Talk common sense today. Who claimed that USAID money was demarcated for India to get, quote, someone else elected, unquote, other than PM Modi? Who used the term kickbacks to describe the money from alleged deep state linked USAID and its shadowy subsidiaries? Who said that the names of those who collaborated to effect a regime change must be shared with the NDA government? Who put out the list saying that money earmarked to influence voter turnout to India would be put on hold? It was US President Donald Trump. Not once, but 5 times. It was the DOGE department. the Department of Government Efficiency. It was Elon Musk who heads the DOGE department, the Department of Government Efficiency in the United States, that put out all these questions and facts. Since distorting the electoral playing field is a massive crime of interference in another country's internal affairs, those that claim to be the guardians of constitutional morality in India should ordinarily be very concerned. They roam around with the constitution in their hands. If they're so worried about the constitution, they should be absolutely panicking at the thought that someone has pumped in money to make the electoral process unduly influenced through all sorts of fake narratives. That should worry them no end. They should have sleepless nights. But instead, this entire ecosystem is working overtime to discredit what Donald Trump has claimed and what Musk and his DOGE department have made public. Why would they do this? I said keep it commonsensical tonight, viewers. Why wouldn't they wait for the NDA that has ordered a probe to unearth the names of the recipients of these backhanders? Why aren't they interested to know who these fifth columnists are that took money to allegedly influence voter behavior in India and make sure that Modi loses by running fake narratives? After all, it's the same people, this ecosystem that constantly talks about level playing field. But if someone from abroad was making this playing field uneven, shouldn't they be as interested, or it's okay? One can't understand the reluctance. Today again, the Congress party attempted to suggest that the entire campaign by Trump's administration to name and shame the collaborators of the deep state was a sham, as even the NDA has been accepting USAID money. In other words, if the NDA takes USAID money, so what's wrong with others taking it too, who are beyond the NDA, in NGOs, in various media companies? The Congress has cited a finance ministry report which said that USAID funded 7 projects worth $750 million in FY24. That $97 million obligation by USAID for 7 projects in FY24. No funding made to enhance voter turnout. That funds used for agri, food, security, water, health schemes. That funds were committed for sustainable forests and climate programs. Provided over 17 billion to India over 555 projects since 1951. The BJP hit back in the Congress party by putting out what it called were the facts. The BJP says, as stated in the Finance Ministry's annual report for 2023-24, USAID is currently implementing 7 projects in collaboration with the Government of India with a combined budget of approximately 750 million. Not a single of these projects has to do with voter turnout. All of them are with and through the union government. This is what the Congress has said on the back of what the Finance Ministry put out. Fine. The BJP comes out and says the desperation of the Congress and its ecosystem of journalists and influencers to deflect from the controversial USAID funding routed through various George Soros-linked fronts and a labyrinth of NGO structures to meddle with India's electoral process is a dead giveaway. In fact, the very projects cited in the Finance Ministry's 2023-24 report, uploaded in July 24, trace their origins back to 2010-2011, which was when the UPA was in power. This isn't new. Even the 2014-15 report confirms the same, unquote. So they've said that this was all continued funding for projects that were commissioned under the UPA. In fact, the ecosystem is conflating issues even when the EAM has come out and drawn a distinction between government to government funding and government to NGOs, private media and public activist collaborations. This is what Shivshankar said.
Some information has been put out there by the Trump administration people, and obviously that is concerning. It would suggest that there are activities whose which has a certain objective out here to push a narrative or a viewpoint. I think as a government we are looking into it because such organizations have an obligation to report. And my sense is, the facts will come out.
Here's an attempt is being made to discredit the claims of the US government, even though US President Trump continues almost daily to insist that dirty money was making its way into India to create an anti-Modi mood and manipulate the election verdict. And you know that, viewers, you can look at your screens now. We'll put out all his quotes side by side so you can see them. This has been going on now for the last 5 days. And I want to open this up and let's ask some fundamental questions tonight without any filters, viewers. Let's ask Akashdeep Muni. Dr. Ranganathan is also there, and the BJP national spokesperson is there. Mr. Muni, is the ecosystem in a hurry to discredit Trump? Is that what's going on here? After all, it's not Modi who said any of these things. It's Trump, Musk, the Doge department, all of these people. Why should we not believe them?
Rahulji, first of all, you said that it was said that USAID money is used by opposition deep state to destabilize India and remove Prime Minister Modi from Prime Ministership. Then they said that there were kickbacks. Now, in your introductory remarks, you said that, who said this? This is said by Trump and not BJP. I totally disagree with you. And to substantiate it, I must quote BJP spokesperson Gaurav Bhatia, who said that India is an independent sovereign nation. Why should a foreign entity interfere in our internal matters? They cannot defeat Modi ji through their own efforts. So they seek support from foreign forces in their hatred for Modi ji, unquote. Then you said that kickbacks to Trump ne bola, Modi ji ne to nahi bola. Again I will quote Amit Malviya ji, quote unquote, no my words, it's his words. This time he has also mentioned kickbacks. Who? Trump. Essentially, this money is also used to sustain deep state assets who work to defend and defeat Modi ji. Okay, we are now witnessing the same pattern unfold in India. So, कितना झूठ बोलेंगे मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आता कभी-कभी कि एक झूठ के बाद दूसरा झूठ, दूसरे झूठ के बाद तीसरा झूठ.
No, but what is the झूठ?
सारा तो मोदी जी बोल रहे थे.
Mr. Trump has said this, the BJP has echoed it.
The money was given to Modi ji.
But Mr. Muni, tell me something. Mr. Muni, tell me something. 1 second. You didn't answer my question. Why don't you believe Mr. Trump? What is the problem with Mr. Trump?
Because he lies.
He lies.
He says that 1,000 crores is given to Hamas.
Okay.
For what you know.
Okay.
He's a foolish character.
He's a foolish character. He lies.
He's a joker.
He's a joker.
Everybody makes a mockery of him.
Okay.
And bucks and political analysts believe him.
And political analysts believe him. Okay. Now, Mr. Muni, great. Can you imagine the contempt these people have, viewers, for electors? This is almost like saying the people who voted for Trump are either buddhus, fools, deplorables, just like the people who vote, I suppose, viewers, because they also call Modi a liar. So all of you who voted for Modi are fools. You have no brains. You should have voted for Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi. This is basically what they're saying, viewers. That the judgment of 50% plus of America is foolish. That deplorables, cranks, all sorts of bizarre people voted for a liar. Dictator, Nazi, God alone knows what else. This is their defense, viewers. This is how thin their respect is for mandates. So Modi came back because he fooled everybody. Everyone else is an idiot. The people who voted Modi are blind bhaks. Andhbhaks is the word they use. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party and its supporters and the India bloc viewers think of you. Congratulations to you, viewers. Now, viewers, fundamentally, the point is no one is answering this question. Ashutosh Mishra, why would the Doge department of Mr. Musk put this out?
Because they lie.
Because they also lie. Musk is also a liar.
There is a website which is
First of all, if you see,
one minute, let Mr. Mishra respond, Dr. Raman. 1 second. Yes. Yeah.
so this $21 million, it has been accepted by a Bangladeshi also that this was actually meant for Bangladesh.
Okay.
For voter turnout.
But sir, this was never paid. So Bangladesh was supposed to get $29 million according to the same list. ये 21 कहाँ से आ गया मुझे भी नहीं समझ आ रही है. How did 21 go to Bangladesh when they were supposed to get $29 million? And viewers, who is saying this? This is being said by a newspaper. And if I ask the question of that newspaper, can they come out and clarify whether they got funding? Whether they got funding, viewers, from the Umidyar network. Dr. Ranganathan, this newspaper that is the hallmark today of truth that these people are peddling and basing all their responses on, saying that, listen, that newspaper told us. I'm not going to name the newspaper. Now, they have publicized that some of the events were funded by Umidyar. Do you think they should have made a declaration somewhere to say, look, there could be the possibility of conflict of interest, but we are funded by Umidyar, but yes, we are today defending that eco-space, but because we do it on facts. Can you just put this in perspective? I would like to ask Sanju Verma one question. We are constantly talking about who got it, who got it. I don't know why the government doesn't know who got it. The government knows when, what is it called, this Greenpeace sneezes. They know when the other one that they kicked out, Amnesty, blows its nose. But they don't know who gets money in this country. That is a separate question that I want to ask. That is a curiosity for me. This all-knowing Sarkar doesn't know who got the money. But anyhow, Dr. Ranganathan, I want to hear what your views are.
Before I come to my views, because I respect Dr. Muni so much, and he has been under oath once, so he takes whatever he says, his statements, very seriously. It's a very simple yes and no question. He's branded Trump a liar. Fair enough. Very simple yes and no question to Dr. Muni. Dear Dr. Muni, have Rahul Gandhi and Kejriwal ever lied? Yes or no?
In their life, of course, yes, they might have. I have not seen them. I don't know them personally.
You have not seen them.
So in their life, they would have.
They would have.
Now, yes, not only have they lied, they've had to apologize publicly. One to the Supreme Court and the other person to the two people who he defamed. So, please.
Actually, almost 5 people. But anyhow, yes, go ahead.
Okay. Right. No, but let's come back to this topic. Who's a liar, who's not a liar. Let's deal with the facts out here. Rahul, you know my position. And with due respect, and all of my fellow panelists are very dear friends. One of them is a very dear friend, Sanju Verma. But the fact of the matter is that all 4 of them either directly represent a political party or are sympathetic to it. It's a very simple question. When Rahul, you began by saying a foreign entity gave money to obviously change the course of Indian elections.
Trump said.
Yes.
I was very clever. I put it in Trump's mouth.
Right. But the fact of the matter is foreign entities have given money to India to various places for, basically monitoring or quote unquote monitoring or changing the course of interference is the word that is used. I want to ask a very simple question to my dear friends. Once the Supreme Court declared the anonymous electoral bonds through which tens, hundreds of billions of dollars of foreign entity money was being taken shamelessly, anonymously by the political parties to interfere in Indian elections, has a single paisa or a dollar of that money now been returned to those foreign entities? Has it been returned now that the Supreme Court has said it was illegal? It's a very simple question.
Okay. Separate debate, but I understand what you're trying to say, that there was far more money used to interfere and build a narrative in the favor of this, that, the other through this EB route, blah, blah, blah. I understand all of that, but actually today, let's keep that aside because the Supreme Court has left this question unresolved. In fact, it's left us in a worse position by not giving us anything. So we go back to a black hole time when all sorts of money will come flooding through, which we'll never be able to even trace. Anyhow. Sanju Verma, quick response please on this issue. If you know, and the Trump regime is such a friend of the Modi regime, and you believe in them so much, why don't you just tell us the names? You must know the names. It's been going on for years. You've been in power now for 10 years. It's going to be 11 in another 4 months. Ab tak to pata hi lag jana chahiye.
Rahul, now you've asked me a question. At least give me 2 minutes. And I would like to say that Mr. Ranganathan is very erudite, but at the risk of offending him, sometimes he loses sight of proportion. Now, having said that, let me first say very categorically that Mr. Jaishankar, barely 48 hours back at the Delhi University Literature Festival, has said this, and I think your audience needs to hear this too. Some information has been put out there by the Trump administration, and obviously that is concerning. We are looking into it and the facts will come out. USAID was allowed here in good faith, but now there are suggestions from America about bad faith activities. That's worrisome. An investigation is underway. When Jaishankar was asked about USAID and it's to influence voter turnout in India, this is what he had to say. I think he has spoken. But Rahul, very quickly, I will say this. I don't want your audience to lose sight of one very important thing. The biggest beneficiary of USAID has been a firm called GKI, Global Knowledge Initiative, co-founded by Sam Pitroda, one of the closest confidants of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. And GKI on its board has two women, Nina Fedorov and Sarah Farley, who are also on the board of Rockefeller. And I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to know that apart from Omidyar and OCCRP, Rockefeller has been running an anti-Modi and an anti-India narrative. And last but not the least, I want to ask the Congress. I'm sure people watch your show, though sometimes they may not participate in it for reasons best known to them. Why is it that S.Y. Qureshi has been silent about his links with IFES? Why has Mahua Moitra been silent about her links with CEPPS? Both CEPPS and IFES have been funded by USAID. Why is Rahul Gandhi silent on the fact that OCCRP got $47 million, which was finally funneled into Rajiv Gandhi Trust? And OCCRP is funded by Open Society Foundation, which in turn is headed by George Soros's network. So I think it's not the BJP, but the Congress that needs to explain, right from
Sanju Verma, all these details,
Gandhi Foundation.
No, all these details you know.
Benefiting from the likes of Omidyar.
Okay, all these details you know, but you can't tell us who got the money.
The lady knows. The lady knows
I
all
said
this.
investigation
Her
is underway,
government
Rahul.
doesn't know. It is amazing.
Okay.
Please.
Dr. Raman, let me ask you, Dr. Raman. One second, let me ask you a question. Dr. Raman, let me ask you a question. 1 second. Dr. Raman, let me ask you a question. Who are we supposed to believe? Have we ended up at some level or the other, and this is a fundamental question to you, Dr. Raman, have we ended up trying to immediately give cover fire to certain fifth columnists in this country by quickly moving to discredit Trump, even without waiting for details to emerge? Is there a motivated campaign to quickly discredit the source so we can cauterize the wound at source and forget about this? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, Rahul, first of all, I thought that, the Indian media would avoid further embarrassment to itself by at least, waiting on this topic after all the mess that they made by all the charges that they made earlier. Second, I'm amazed. I mean, it's a shocking lapse if the government has no clue as to who this money went. I mean, this is not some pocket money. And Sanju Verma knows all this, and she's not telling her own government. She's not going and giving this information to the government and saying Rahul Gandhi got all this money. Sam Pitroda got all this money. She knows it, and she's not telling them. Please go and give this information.
Okay, let's not get personal. Okay, I have to shut down the show. If it's going to become this personal war of words between people, viewers, the fact of the matter is there are two strands to this. The government must now come out and tell us sooner than later, and the opposition to hold fire, because you can't be discrediting Trump and the entire Doge department and Musk and several other officials, some of them who weren't even working with Trump, who have come out and testified. Hold your horses. Let's not give cover fire. Let's not make this about two parties. Let's make this about the nation. We need the truth. We need it quick. We leave it at this, viewers. The Vantage with Palki Sharma.
Presented by
Maria Santissima, premurosa e tenera nel soccorrere i suoi figli che si trovano nel dolore, lo sostenga in questo momento di prova e di sofferenza. La parola di Dio e la preghiera raccoglieranno ed esprimeranno tutte le nostre parole e le esprimono con pienezza. Ci aiuteranno a sentirci in comunione tra noi, con il Santo Padre, con tutta la Chiesa, in particolare con le chiese in Italia, che in questi giorni prossimi si ritroveranno in tanti modi sempre nella dolce compagnia di Maria per intercedere per la guarigione del Papa. Sappiamo anche quanti si uniscono a noi, tanti nella amicizia hanno affidato a noi la preghiera, quanti attestati di riconoscenza e di stima che presentiamo tutti al Signore perché doni protezione e renda forte nella fede il Papa Francesco. Preghiamo. O Dio, che in Maria, madre del tuo Figlio, hai posto il segno della nostra difesa e del nostro aiuto, concedi a Papa Francesco di godere la salute del corpo e dello spirito, perché continui ad essere per la Chiesa testimone del tuo Vangelo di misericordia, a presiederla nella comunione.
Ricolma di grazia la tua Chiesa.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Dona salute a Papa Francesco.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Estendi il dono della pace a tutti i popoli.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Rendi tutti i defunti partecipi della Pasqua eterna.
E poi dopo fra un po'
Perdão dos nossos pecados, pelo mundo inteiro, pela sua dolorosa paixão, tende misericórdia de nós e do mundo inteiro. Deus Santo, Deus Forte, Deus Imortal,